The Kansas City Royals have something brewing in their farm system that has baseball insiders buzzing. Jac Caglianone, the organization's top prospect, represents that rarest of baseball commodities. Legitimate 80-grade power potential with the physical tools to realize it at the major league level. But how good is Jac really? We gotcha, as the Yak Fam had to dig deep. Standing at 6'5" and 245 pounds, Caglianone's frame immediately draws comparisons to left-handed power-hitting legends. What separates him from typical slugger prospects is the electric bat speed and natural loft in his swing that allows him to generate tremendous exit velocities without sacrificing too much contact. During his collegiate career at Florida, Caglianone put on displays of raw power that hadn't been seen since the days of current New York Mets slugger Pete Alonso donning the Gators uniform. Caglianone isn't just a one-dimensional masher either. His athleticism allowed him to pitch at Florida while playing first base, showcasing the coordination and body control that could translate to better-than-expected defensive value. While he's since abandoned pitching, his two-way background speaks to his overall baseball IQ and feel for the game. Yet, for all that tantalizing potential, Caglianone remains shrouded in the mystery that surrounds any prospect who's yet to face big league pitching. The gap between Double-A and the majors remains baseball's greatest developmental leap, where even the most celebrated prospects can stumble. The Royals' status as a small market franchise adds another layer of intrigue to Caglianone's story. While Kansas City has shown the ability to develop stars like Salvador Perez and Bobby Witt Jr., it lacks the media spotlight that automatically comes while playing in cities like New York, Los Angeles, or Chicago, where the sport's biggest stars reside. Oh, and if you like this video, like and subscribe for tuning into the latest news, player profiles, and more. Alright, let's get back into it. This market reality creates a fascinating question about Caglianone's ceiling, not just as a player, but as a star. In today's baseball landscape, true stardom requires more than just production. It demands visibility. Even if Caglianone delivers 40-homer seasons in Kansas City, will he receive the same recognition as he would in a major market? The Royals' budget constraints also mean they might not be able to surround him with the caliber of talent that would maximize his impact. Would pitchers challenge him if there's limited protection in the lineup? Or might we see a scenario similar to Mike Trout, a transcendent talent somewhat obscured by organizational limitations? This is the million-dollar question that makes prospect evaluation so fascinating. The tools suggest a ceiling as a middle-of-the-order force capable of 35-plus home runs annually, with enough hit tool development to maintain a respectable average. His exit velo readings and hard hit rates in the minors certainly support this projection. However, there are legitimate concerns. His swing can get long at times, creating vulnerabilities against quality velocity on the inner half. His aggressive approach worked against collegiate pitching, but will require refinement against crafty veteran arms who won't just give him fastballs to drive when behind in the count. The optimistic projection sees Caglianone as a Paul Goldschmidt-type player who combines power with enough contact ability to be a perennial all-star. The pessimistic view suggests he might follow the Joey Gallo trajectory: elite power accompanied by significant contact challenges that limit his overall impact. What makes Caglianone such a compelling prospect is that both outcomes seem equally possible. His development will likely hinge on adjustability. Can he recognize breaking pitches early enough to lay off the tough ones while crushing mistakes? Can he develop a two-strike approach that allows him to put balls in play when he's not in an advantage count? Until we see him face major league pitching in meaningful games, Jac Caglianone represents baseball's beautiful uncertainty, unlimited potential waiting to be tested against the sport's ultimate challenge. However, by taking a deeper look at how Caglianone reached this point, we might be able to better uncover just how good he actually is and just how great he could become. Jac Caglianone's journey from Tampa, Florida to becoming a top MLB prospect is a testament to his dedication and talent. Born on February 9, 2003, Jac grew up in a sports-oriented family. His father, Jeff, played college baseball at Stetson University, and his sister, Samantha, pursued volleyball at Santa Fe College. Attending H.B. Plant High School, known for producing MLB talents like Pete Alonso and Kyle Tucker, Jack quickly made a name for himself. As a senior, he batted .371 with 3 home runs and achieved a 2.44 ERA with 65 strikeouts over 37.1 innings. His prowess earned him spots on the 2020 Perfect Game All-American Classic and the San Francisco Giants scout team. A pivotal moment came when Jack suffered a torn UCL during a postseason All-Star game, leading to Tommy John surgery. This setback influenced his decision to attend the University of Florida instead of entering the 2021 MLB draft. At Florida, Jack's freshman year in 2022 saw him excel as a designated hitter, batting .288 with 7 home runs. By his sophomore year, he returned to pitching and shattered Florida's single-season home run record with 33, while also posting a 4.34 ERA. Jack's performance peaked in 2024. He led the nation with 35 home runs, tied the NCAA record by homering in 9 consecutive games, and achieved a .419 batting average. On the mound, he recorded a 5-2 record with 83 strikeouts over 73.2 innings. His achievements earned him the John Olerud Award for the nation's best two-way player and recognition as a first-team academic All-American. Jack's exceptional college career culminated in being selected 6th overall by the Kansas City Royals in the 2024 MLB Draft and receiving a $7.5 million signing bonus, which was slightly above the $7,213,800 slot value. This is all well and good, and honestly sounds more like a superhero's origin story. But as with any baseball player, Caglianone isn't perfect. And a feature story from Baseball America in 2024 details some of the shortcomings Caglianone has had to reckon with at the plate, which could potentially continue to plague him as his career progresses. The article quotes Florida head coach Kevin O'Sullivan saying, "We call Caglianone create a player. If you were to create a player on the computer, this is what they would look like." That sounds about right. However, O'Sullivan and other coaches on his staff helped Caglianone boost all of his hitting attributes during his time with the Gators. He made a conscious effort to make the adjustments he needs with 2 strikes. Florida assistant coach Chuck Girolamo was quoted as saying, "He's confident. He's not worried about getting to 2 strikes. And that makes a difference early in the count, too. He's not just a bull in a china shop anymore. He used to be that. He's big and strong. He's gonna get his swings off in every at-bat. Now he has a better idea of what he needs to do to have success and what he handles really well," Girolamo added. This adjustment represents perhaps the most crucial reason for Caglianone's impressive success, his developing plate discipline, which is often the bane of many hitters his size. While strong power hitters like Caglianone have the ability to drive the ball with tremendous force, this same attribute frequently comes with drawbacks that become increasingly problematic against higher caliber competition. Physical specimens typically develop a reliance on their natural power, sometimes at the expense of fundamental hitting mechanics. This manifests in several common issues that can derail their development as they climb the ranks. The confidence in their ability to hit the ball hard often leads to an overly aggressive approach, swinging at pitches outside the strike zone that cannot be driven effectively. As they face more skilled pitchers who can locate with precision and manipulate movement, this weakness becomes increasingly exposed. What works against less polished pitching becomes a liability against arms that can execute game plans with precision, which can cause frustration and cause even the most confident players to feel frazzled at the dish. The desire to maximize every swing frequently results in excessive effort that disrupts timing and bad path. When power hitters swing too hard, they pull off the ball by opening their front side too early, create longer and loopier swing paths that increase vulnerability to velocity, sacrifice contact quality for maximum effort, and experience timing issues that lead to increased whiff rates. This overswinging tendency often becomes habitual, making adjustments difficult even when the situation calls for a more controlled approach. As players like Caglianone progress to higher levels, they encounter more sophisticated opposition armed with detailed scouting reports. Teams quickly identify and exploit those tendencies. Pitchers work the edges with breaking pitches that tempt aggressive swings and sequence their offerings specifically to disrupt timing. Meanwhile, defensive positioning takes advantage of predictable contact patterns, further reducing offensive effectiveness. The players who successfully transition their power to advanced levels are those who learn to harness their strength while developing greater selectivity and situational awareness. This adjustment requires both physical and mental discipline, knowing when to unleash full power and when to prioritize contact and barrel control. Caglianone has managed to make this adjustment so far, which is largely owed to the aforementioned quote and ensuing work he did with Florida's coaches. However, he still hasn't reached the pinnacle of pitching quite yet, because he hasn't made his MLB debut. This is when Caglianone will likely realize his true potential of either being a Paul Goldschmidt-type player or more of a Joey Gallo type, who can hit for power but do little else against the world's best pitchers, therefore fizzling out after a few seasons. It's too early to tell where Caglianone will fit, but his brief professional baseball career serves as a good indication. Alright, before we go any further about Jac Caglianone, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future deep dives on baseball's most impressive and physically imposing players. Back to it. After putting pen to paper in his contract with the Royals, Caglianone was sent to their high A team, the Quad Cities River Bandits. However, he only had time to play in 29 games during that 2024 campaign, hitting a modest .241 with a .690 OPS and 2 home runs in 29 games. While these stats certainly don't jump off the page, Caglianone was still considered the Royals' top prospect headed into their 2025 campaign, with MLB.com projecting that he'll reach the MLB team by the 26th season. As of mid-April, Caglianone has already surpassed his home run total from the 2024 season, hitting 3 home runs and producing an OPS of .810 for the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, which is the Royals' AA affiliate. Caglianone was invited to the Royals' MLB spring training, where his hype, albeit never dormant, intensified tenfold. Caglianone hit a staggering .500 with a 1.167 OPS in just 18 at-bats for Kansas City during Cactus League play, which included 3 majestic home runs that surely had the Royals' front office and coaching staff salivating. But this recent upturn in hype around Caglianone isn't necessarily about his stat lines. It's more about the eye test of what he's accomplished on the field to this point, which is best surveyed by several moments of his that have gone viral. During the first inning of an April 10, 2025 game, Caglianone smacked a single to left field that StatCast recorded as 120.9 miles per hour. This marked the 12th hardest hit ball in the StatCast era, and that includes MLB. And this single isn't the only eye-opening ball Caglianone has hit since entering professional baseball. In just his second game during the 2025 minor league season, the top prospect demolished his first AA homer, landed at a reported 464 feet, and was apparently clocked at 116 miles per hour off the bat. It cleared the entire stadium and landed on the street outside the field they were playing at. Given his physical stature and long track record of massive power, nobody doubted that Caglianone would have an easy transition from the metal bats he used in college. However, it's going to be tough for him to replicate some of the staggering feats he accomplished while at Florida. In a 2024 matchup between Jacksonville and the Florida Gators, Caglianone delivered what many consider to be the most impressive home run in college baseball history. He connected with a pitch and sent it soaring over the right field fence, with the ball landing on top of the roof of a hitting facility beyond the outfield. The estimated distance of over 500 feet made broadcasters and fans alike go wild, with the ESPN cameras cutting to stunned faces in the crowd. The clip circulated widely across social media, showcasing his otherworldly power and earning him the nickname Jack Bombs. And lest we forget, Caglianone was a two-way player in college. In a pivotal SEC matchup against South Carolina, Caglianone demonstrated why he was college baseball's premier two-way player in a performance that quickly went viral. In the same game, he hit a towering home run as a batter and got the win 4-0 as a pitcher with 5 strong innings. And here's another stat. On May 6, 2025, Caglianone hit his first multi-home run game against the Wichita Wind Surge, hitting 4 home runs in his last 3 games. The juxtaposition of his offensive power and pitching prowess in a single game created a highlight package that baseball fans shared extensively online, with many comparing him to a young Shohei Ohtani. But the most impressive feat Caglianone achieved while at Florida was him hitting home runs in 9 consecutive games during the 2023 season. This extraordinary power streak began in late February and extended into early March, capturing the attention of the college baseball world. What made the accomplishment even more impressive was that it came during SEC play against some of the best pitching talent in collegiate baseball. The streak started somewhat quietly with a solo shot against Miami, but as the home runs continued to pile up in subsequent games, national attention grew. And by the time he connected for homers in games 6 and 7, college baseball analysts were regularly tracking his at-bats. The 9th consecutive game with a homer came against Vanderbilt, where Caglianone drove a fastball deep over the right field wall, etching his name in the NCAA record books. Those 9 straight games with a homer tied him for the longest home run streak in Division I history, and is longer than MLB's record of 8 consecutive games with a home run, which Ken Griffey Jr., Don Mattingly, and Dale Long all accomplished in their careers. Those are 3 guys who are good to be placed in the same sentence with. After examining Jac Caglianone's trajectory to this point, it's becoming increasingly difficult to deny his potential for an impressive big league career. The Florida Gators standout has demonstrated remarkable offensive talents that suggest he could become a transformative player at the MLB level, even as certain questions remain while he develops in the minor leagues. What immediately stands out about Caglianone is his extraordinary power at the plate. His left-handed swing generates the kind of raw power that just can't be taught. Not just occasional warning track shots, but legitimate game-changing ability to drive the ball out of any park. His 33 home runs in the 2023 college season placed him among college baseball's elite sluggers, and he continued to demonstrate that power in subsequent seasons. Caglianone's physical presence alone commands attention. Standing 6'5" with an athletic frame built for power, he possesses the kind of physique that scouts dream about. His bat speed and natural strength allow him to drive the ball to all fields, an attribute that separates good minor leaguers from those who can succeed at the highest level. What separates potential from actualization, however, are the adjustments players make against increasingly sophisticated competition. While Caglianone's plate discipline and contact rate against quality breaking pitches has raised some concerns in the past, plus his swing's tendency to get long at times, creating vulnerability that professional pitchers will undoubtedly target, Caglianone's raw offensive tools provide the foundations for success that just can't be taught. The history of baseball is filled with highly touted prospects who never fully realized their potential. But Caglianone's unique offensive skill set and demonstrated performance against quality competition suggest he may have the ingredients to buck that trend. His power profile fits perfectly in today's MLB environment, where the ability to change a game with one swing remains among the most valuable commodities in the sport. Of course, there have been countless top minor league prospects who ultimately fizzled out, many of whom never made it to the big leagues in the first place. Not only is there no question that Caglianone will get an opportunity in the pros given his platform and star power, but our final verdict is that once his big league debut arrives, Caglianone is going to make his presence felt in a powerful way. As always, thanks for tuning in and allowing Baseball Yak to be a part of your day.